First and foremost, I'd like to start off by praising God and also giving a shout out to our sponsors. We would first like to thank the Ramirez family for being our biggest sponsor and helping us continue to give us the information, motivation, education that we need in our community. Next, we would like to thank SoCal Tattoo out of Tarzana, California. SoCal Tattoos, where all your tattoo needs will be met. Go out there and check them out and let them know AC sent you. And last but definitely not least, Rockstar Plumbing Company out of Chatsworth, California. You can reach them at 818-814-3044 for all your plumbing needs. And now, without further ado, let the show begin.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Doughboy 20. We're back with another episode of What's the Word on the realest platform on YouTube, American Cholo.
Woo woo.
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Just happy to be alive, bro. Happy to make it to another day.
Another beautiful day, man.
Yeah, I'm looking for the guy. If you can look it up online, Chris, I think you can look it up and it'll be man held in airport after visiting the Philippines with his wife, green card holder. I just saw it. Well, I've seen it last week or a week before when he got held. He came from the Philippines. Chris got my ultra right there. he came from that's this guy's right here, bro.
Yeah.
he came from the Philippines from visiting. I want to say his son is in the Air Force. He's had his green card since '67.
Damn.
And he got held up because in the 90s he got a DUI and probably got maybe like a 20 of coca or something, because they said he with drug, and it was all both misdemeanors. He did like 2 weeks in the county jail, got released, finished his probation, been living his life regular. He goes, hey baby, let's go to the Philippines, visit our son. He's in the Air Force, and then they're coming back from a pretty cool vacation, I'm sure, seeing their son, and when they're going through customs or whatnot, wife's okay, you gotta go. And like, what's going on? And they lost him for a few days or weeks, and now he's in Bakersfield at a detention center fighting deportation, bro.
Damn.
Like, what is this?
That story hits really close to home, because my dad almost 30 years ago was mugged. And back in the day, like, it was really customary for you to carry like your entire life in your wallet, right? Yeah. He would have his like permanent resident card, his social security number, like card, not even number, but card, yeah. ID, all of that. And he was assaulted, he was mugged. And maybe about 10 years later, when he's trying to go out, and my grandfather passes away in 2008, and we're coming back, and he gets held up by customs. And we didn't understand why. Me and my sister ended up sleeping at the airport because we had no idea what was going on. We just knew that they held my dad, that they didn't let him through. And to make a long story short, somebody had stolen his identity. And that individual had racked up a ton of criminal offenses. So this is something that we've legally have been, dealing with for the last 30 years.
Wow.
So my dad, anytime he goes to Mexico, like, he brings like a briefcase with all the times that he's been, that other agents have made notations. He knows a lot of these agents by like first name because he spends.
They already know.
Yeah, they already know. He would go back and he would come in and they would hold him for a couple hours, and then it would be 5 hours, 6, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, right? Less and less, right? Because every time that we cross, I have another story where we were crossing the border. My dad, went to send a truck back to, to his rancho, and we need to go get paperwork at Tijuana. So I go with him. We go out there, get the paperwork. We send the truck out. We come back, and the same thing, bro. We get stopped by Border Patrol and guns out, like guns drawn. They take us out. They take my dad into detention, and I'm sitting there for like the next like 4 or 5 hours waiting for him to come out. Luckily for us, like, he has all his information, all his paperwork. He's prepped already, right? But it's a very real story, and that something like that, like, it makes me really, really concerned and really scared for a lot of individuals who, may have not had the best past, or are dealing with identity theft, or dealing with something like this, and understanding that shouldn't be reason for somebody to hold your freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nuts. So like right now, it's almost like it's just a net they're throwing. Doesn't matter what they're picking up. It reminds me almost of a video I saw how they do in the ocean in some of these fishing places. They throw these nets with these huge tons of weight on it, and they just drag the bottom, killing anything that's down there, picking up it. And that's what they're doing right now, bro. Like anybody is game, but it's, to me out here, it's complete racial profiling. I saw an interview they did with the actual border patrol that's out here in Los Angeles, and they're asking the guy all kind of questions, and he's like, well, you got nothing to worry about if this doesn't happen. And I'm thinking, damn, the question I really wish the reporter would have asked him was, isn't this racial profiling? Because he said, how are you guys, he kind of did, but he didn't just quite out say, he said, how are you guys looking and picking? Oh, well, we can't give up all our tactics, but we look for certain things. Yeah, you look for someone who looks like a paisa.
Yep.
Let's keep it 100, bro.
Straight up.
Keep it a buck.
That's what you're doing. You're looking for somebody who looks like a paisa. Like, I could think I could guess here and there, but I'm sure I'll be wrong here and there as well. And those are citizens, bro. And there's a couple citizens that they picked up already. And I hope to God those guys get paid, bro. I really do. I mean, it sucks they're going through that, but at least they're gonna be able to come back. Look up the video, Chris. Did you find anything on the guy who got deported? The one we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm looking at trying to find the censuses.
What do you mean in sense? No, he's.
What he was.
Oh no, it was a DUI in possession, but there's no video of the news clipping. Look up at least.
I could find it, but
Yeah. Also look up a clip for the guy from Walmart.
Yeah.
You see that young kid?
Yeah.
Youngster, huh?
the youngster.
I seen that.
That came up, and I guess the whole situation was he was standing up for somebody who was being harassed. Because to your point, like initially this administration has said that we're only going after the very bad people and the criminals, right? And that's obviously not the case. We are being racially profiled. We are being picked apart because of the color of our skin and what we look like. And the little homie was defending somebody who couldn't defend himself.
Yeah, bro.
And because he got in the middle of it, they detained him. He's an American citizen, born here in the United States. And I don't understand how Border Patrol or ICE agents or these bounty hunters that I'm hearing about, getting hired to come out for our people, how they have any type of legality to hold an American citizen. If he somehow, some way assaulted them, right? Isn't that work for the PD? Isn't that a local issue? Not necessarily a federal issue, right?
Well, especially when we don't even know who you are, bro. No. You're not in any kind of marked cards that say, what that one it was, but a lot of these people are picking up, they're all blacked out. These guys don't even have a badge. They're not showing you anything.
Like,
all right, let's see. That's the one from Walmart, Chris? Or is that the... Okay, let's check it out real quick. This is the dad one.
Family and friends are demanding the release of a man named Maximo Ladano, the father of 3, as a green card holder from the Philippines. His family says he was detained by Customs and Border Protection while returning to SeaTac with his wife and daughter 5 days ago. King 5 Savannah Welch is there right now with the latest on this case. We heard from an emotional family and friends yesterday. What did they say about this?
Mimi Maximo Ladano's wife pleaded for his release outside of SCA yesterday at that protest. She says that the family, the couple and their 12-year-old daughter, they were traveling back from vacation in the Philippines. The family was horrified when Maximo was detained. This happened last Thursday. He's been in custody since, and the family says they've been given very little information on how he's doing. We're told Maximo, who goes by Max, immigrated to the U.S. at 12 years old. He's an Olympia resident and a green card holder. His wife, Crystal, who he's been married to for more than 20 years, says he's a loving father to his 3 daughters and works at a manufacturing company in Lacey. She says Maximo is the primary provider for the family and always goes the extra mile.
He's respectable. He's hardworking. He's family oriented. And he's loving. He's not violent. The lack of accountability by the United States Customs and Border Protection is failing him right now. It's failing everybody.
Border Protection.
The family says they travel to the Philippines every year, but the screenings were never that long. Londoño's family says he has 2 nonviolent convictions that are more than 2 decades old, but those have since been resolved. Now we've reached out to Customs and Border Protection. The agency says that it'll get back to us with more information when it has more information on the case.
bro.
It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Man, bro. First of all, shout out to all the Filipino homies out there. Mabuhay. Man, I was out this Saturday and I saw a lot of individuals from that community marching with us and marching together. It breaks my heart, bro. It breaks my heart to see something like that, because for historical context, it's something that I learned there in the city of Santa Ana. They had a sit and learn. So there's an activist out there who was kind of putting us up on game. One thing I didn't know, that there's a very prominent Filipino man who was like the catalyst of helping the Chicano movement, right? Helping, a lot of Chicano activists in the 60s to really get organized, specifically Cesar Chavez. And that's something that's information.
That's right.
That's information that I didn't know. And, that community has always had our back, and vice versa. It breaks my heart that an individual who is who's contributed to this country and who is a family man, and for him to be able to be singled out the way and treated like an animal, it's my heart's broken. My heart goes out to them, and unfortunately, this is something that our communities are dealing with right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the guy is doing the right thing, living. It's like any little thing, y ya vámonos, güey.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's like that's not what America voted for. I don't care what anybody says. There is some rednecks, even some raza, bro, that I don't care. You're illegal. You're out of here. Like, no, bro. And that guy, you can't even say that.
No.
He's been here all this time, and 20 years ago, he got a DUI. I see Smiley from East Coast. What's up, brother? Gil, there's some people who are receiving a deportation order after they try to renew their green card after they found out they had a DUI, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's really scary.
That is.
So I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't even want to go. I saw in Chicago, I guess sometime this week, a mother was going in there to do the checkup, right? And her 2 sons, they're from the military, bro. They're all dressed up in gear, and they're like, we came here to support our mom. Like, we're afraid they're gonna take her. And there's a lot of people. I don't blame people that are afraid to show up. There's this one guy. He doesn't work for our company, but he works for one of the companies one of the trades, right? He's a foreman, knows his stuff, bro. He's been here for like maybe 20 years. For 15 years, he's been going and checking in. And now his last one is coming up, and they want him to go. I want to say he's from Guatemala. They want him to go to Guatemala and stay. The guy's like contemplating not going. He's so afraid. He's like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. He's like, I have a house here. I got my kids here. I got my wife here. But now that I'm seeing all this, could you imagine they go to Guatemala and say, no, thanks.
Damn.
And that's what a lot of families are dealing with. But unfortunately, it's still the fight after the Great Revolution we just had last week, right? That I guess the revolution's over. It got drowned out by flags, bro. That was the conversation. It got drowned out by the cars burning. It got drowned out by the small minority who were doing stupid stuff. And I think what they did, they made the spot hot.
On that, I definitely want to sit here and say that, of course, you're going to have individuals who are going to, whether they're celebrating, because a lot of people out there in the comments, a lot of people were out for the Dodger parade when they won the World Series, and there was all kinds of desmadre.
Yes.
There's all kinds of, defacing property and, a bunch of situations when you get a mob out there. Yes, there is that element. There are, tons of individuals out there who are tagging and fireworks and throwing water bottles and things of that nature. But I think the one thing that both sides, on whatever side you may lay on, that I really want people to understand is that there are, putting my tinfoil hat back on, there are paid actors and there are paid agitators out here that both sides have a vested interest in this thing going left.
Yeah. And
that's the one thing that we continue to see. And we're starting to see a lot of videos out there that you're starting to see videos of, like, homies. I don't know if you saw the one video of the homie telling this individual not to burn the American flag, right?
Yes.
Because you have those type of people. And those people don't live in our community. Those people don't work in our community. Those people aren't from our community. But they're there just to cause ruckus. They're there to cause chaos. And there's two separate ends of the spectrum, right? You have the far left and the far right. And both individuals are sending their troops and their people to make sure that this thing goes left, because one wants a revolution. Both of them want a revolution for whatever reasons that they want it. And that is a real element. The mass media is playing us against each other.
And there's people, go down maybe like 2 comments, Chris. I want to read about 3 of them right now. Where are you at? Right there. Stop right now. Go down 1 more. Go down. Yeah, there you go. Okay, like this guy, Big Dog. I'm tired of this shit, dude. If you're illegal in this country, you committed a crime. I'm sure he's trying to say plain and simple. Now they're in the long. I'll buy Felicia. Okay, go down another one, please. I voted for this. So I think what it is, people like that, you have every right to your opinion, brother. This is America, right? But the same people that will sit there and say that, if I turn around and say, well, your ancestors came here illegally, did the same exact thing, murdered, pillaged, did much worse than what any illegal immigrants done, and now they're here living, you'll say, oh man, that was 200 years ago. What does it matter? It matters because you're the same people that will say we have to protect Israel because Israel land was 2,000 years ago. So you can't use that BS argument, bro. You can't sit there and one time say that was so long ago, but at the same time, we're ready to go to war in Iran because you same jackass. I don't know if you're one of the jackass that are all fucking in not the mob mentality, but in the cult mentality of religion, because it's a what, Chris? You told me it's a prophecy. Because you guys believe in a prophecy, bro, in a book that the Israelis got to be there for. No, you can't sit there and pick and choose. So if that's the case, and your great-great-grandmother and grandfather were all here illegally, bro.
If it's about making America great, which it's not. If
And
it's
just
about
'cause- I mean, just because it's something that they're saying, oh, it's a crime or it's legal, whatever, doesn't make it right, bro.
it's not a
It's-
crime.
That's like
It's a
trying to,
misdemeanor.
that's
It's a
like trying
misdemeanor. It's an
yeah.
infraction.
That's what I'm saying.
Then change the law.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's like trying to justify segregation. That's like trying to justify slavery. All these things that were once in our law books, bro, and were
Yeah.
okay according to these people, they didn't make it okay, bro. It's fucking inhumane, and that's the same thing that's going on right now.
You're literally playing with people's entire lives, bro. I'm all for deporting a guy who robbed somebody. I'm all for deporting a guy who burglarized somebody. I'm all like a straight felony where bro, you screwed up. Ya vete. But if you've been here 20 years and your only infraction is coming over the border, while all the political parties knew you were coming in, you're telling me that all these guys don't know that in the rich man's hotels and in the golf courses, you tell me all these years, they're like, oh my God, I never knew they were illegal. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Come on,
Get
man.
the fuck out of
Bullshit.
here. And that's the bullshit. All of a sudden you fools want to be Mr. Legals. Then do this. If you guys then make a law that business owners that are hiring fucking go to prison, go to jail.
Yeah.
They won't, because this shit will fucking
It'll collapse.
it'll collapse, bro.
And I guess the point that I was getting to was, if it's really about making America great, which is not, if you really want to say put America first, then all those conservatives, all those Republicans, all those individuals that are buying into this cult mentality, then you should have a firm stance against going to war.
Facts.
Because you know, that was the premise that I hear a lot of arguments of, oh, I voted for Trump because he's not going to take us to war. And now we're this close. We're on the precipice of going to war. For what? And if you continue to sit here and say like, oh yeah, immigration this, and the people came illegally and they broke the law and they did this. First and foremost, this is about human rights. Those individuals that don't live where we live, those individuals that don't live in Southern California and California, are not seeing our people being kidnapped from the streets. I'm seeing people being kidnapped from our streets from individuals that have no political stance on anything. Community members, people that I know personally, that have no agenda at all whatsoever. They're just reporting what's happening in their community. These individuals are coming unclothed. They're coming, with their faces covered.
Yeah, no badge,
no
number,
badge,
nothing,
nothing,
no name.
They're hopping out of the car, tackling gentlemen tackling women. They're man, it gets me so angry to sit up here and say and have this conversation, because just for the simple fact that people can't have any humanity, any humility.
Look up the, I don't know if you got it yet, the one from Walmart. Let's pull that one up. Then you get a chance, I'll take one of those nice spring waters we have in there, Chris. All right, check this one out.
Take a look at this crowd. We are in Pico Rivera.
Forward all
and
this
dozens
madness.
of demonstrators are out here tonight. People are angry over how.
What I haven't seen is, well, no, Pico Rivera is full of Mexican flags. I haven't seen a lot of more American flags.
Yeah.
Social media videos captured a dramatic scene unfolding in the Walmart parking lot in Pico Rivera, where outraged community members confronted federal agents.
Hey, you forgot to cover your face.
Suddenly, an unmarked truck pulled up. Men armed with AR-15s jumped out and moved in to take control of the situation.
It's like we are in a war zone in our own communities, bringing out rifles. I mean, we are your everyday civilians. You know, those weapons, they're weapons of war. You know, they're meant to, you know, protect you from the enemy, and we become the enemy.
Here's what happened just before everything exploded. 2 Border Patrol trucks pulled into the parking lot. This man suddenly took off running.
Dude.
So did this maintenance worker. That's when 20-year-old Adrian Andrew Martinez saw what was happening and drove his car toward the ICE agents' vehicles. His mother, Myra Villarreal, spoke with Fox 11 News.
In the video, it shows that, you know, he was trying to help. He was telling them, you know, leave him alone. He's just working. And I guess they didn't like that.
In the video, you see Martinez roll a trash bin in front of the Border Patrol truck. There's a brief exchange. Then agents rush in and take him down. Martinez can be seen resisting.
Now they're saying that he attacked them. So they want to press charges, you know, saying that he was attacking them. But in the video, it shows everything.
This is totally different ballgame. Please be careful. Know your rights.
Retired LAPD Detective Moses Castillo says people should understand that ICE agents have the authority to arrest anyone they believe is interfering with their investigation, and the penalties can be severe.
When you interfere with law enforcement in California, you probably get arrested for a misdemeanor and maybe not face criminal charges. But with the federal agents, you're looking at some serious federal time, anywhere between 1 year in federal prison up to 8 years.
I have no idea where he's at. I don't know if he's okay. I don't know if they're doing it in open doors, the way they're treating him. Imagine behind closed doors. I'm really worried right now.
Take it down.
We contacted Homeland Security.
No, David, you're wrong, bro. You have no rights. It's legal.
You're wrong.
You're absolutely wrong. Constitution,
Read
bro.
the Constitution, my
I
boy.
don't understand this, bro. Like, why? I don't get the hate, dog. What are these people doing to you guys that you're so like?
I think the homie Immortal Technique put it best.
Fuck.
And I don't know, everybody out there, if you guys don't follow Immortal, please follow him. He put a live out like a couple of days ago that was super impactful. And in that live, he made this quote. And the quote goes, you can defeat 40 scholars with one fact, but you'll never be able to defeat one idiot with 40 facts.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. You can sit here and continue to spew your opinion, but your feelings are not facts, my boy. And that's the thing, is like the rights they're talking about are for U.S. citizens. Nah, bro, go read the Constitution. And they are taking American citizens. Yeah. And that's the issue. If you have an issue, then speak up.
It's just like I'll make it simple for you. Maybe you can fucking follow. Just like when they some places try to not let kids without papers have a right to go to school. Went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court's like, no, every child in America, doesn't matter. You have the right to an education.
94, Prop 187, Pete Wilson.
There you go, bro. So all that stuff, it's already been fought. The the Constitution is for everybody all around. That's what makes America great. And people try to say, hey, well, Mexico, well, this ain't Mexico, motherfucker. This is the United States of America. You know, stop trying to. You're trying to sit here and compare to a whole different world. That's like all of a sudden, well, in prison, this. Well, nah, this ain't prison. This ain't Mexico. This ain't the third world country. This is the United States of America, bro. Yeah. And there's certain rights. All that guy was doing. He's pushing the trash can with the roller. He's cleaning up the parking lot, bro. Like, that's what you're going after? Yep. That's just some straight hoe stuff that I just want to put. What they're doing right now, I just want to put a number. How many numbers you get? How many guys you get? How many guys? And these fools, I can guarantee you, are going back, fucking cracking up. Hey, dude, we got this, we got this, we got this. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be going after real criminals, homie. Latino Slant. Gil, I'd like to have this gentleman on the slant. Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I think Frankie or both, whatever. Yeah, whatever you want. What's your IG, Frank?
At Frankie.Blanco.
At Frankie.Blanco, man. They only have rights because it's Cali, but other states they have. Yeah, Victor, stop smoking crack, bro. Stop smoking crack, bro. Victor's just smoking crack on that one, man.
Man, Victor. Hopefully, you're as vocal as us not going to war against Iran. And getting involved. Yeah. No, you absolutely won't, because you're here buying you're in that cult mentality, and you got to call a spade, my boy.
Yeah, let's see. Victor, give us a comment. Are you for war with Iran, or are you against war with Iran? Let's see what Victor comes out with, man.
Oh, bro, if he's a cult follower, he's for it.
Chicago mayor is saying, and I'm interested to see this, and I would actually love to see something like that in LA. He's saying he's going to use his police department to stop some of this stuff, bro. That's right. And that's going to be a straight fight with the state and the federal government. And to me, I'm like, dude, why doesn't LA do that? Like, LA should be like, no, bro, you're stereotyping people, and that'll be a great thing. Where, all right, dude, let's go to court. Let's start. Is racial profiling legal federally? Because right now, what it's showing is it's legal, bro. That's what they're doing.
I think in the city of Garden Grove, I'm not sure if other Orange County cities have done it, but in Garden Grove, the police department said they will not cooperate with ICE. Like, if they were like to do a regular traffic stop, they're not going to ask about like.
Yeah, but it's not the cooperation. I would like to see what the Chicago mayor is saying. He's talking about he's going to direct his police officers to kind of like that to pull up to intervene with ICE. Like, you guys ain't doing this, bro.
Damn.
That'll be a powerful message, and that
would be a very powerful message.
And that's why, to me, it's like, don't sit there and talk all kind of shit. But the cops, you can't. Even the guys, the Marines, bro, they're doing their job. These guys, no, they're just cowboys that got the green light to do whatever they want, bro.
You talking about the DHS and ICE is giving out $40,000-$50,000 bonuses. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy for me to think that we are funding this, right? Because I'm like, I think he wanted like $1 billion for ICE, and we're funding our home persecution.
Yeah,
like that's insane. You know, if people know anything about numbers, like California does contribute over $80 billion more than it takes from the federal government.
We definitely pay more.
And to think about it is like, hey, we're funding this. Like, our tax dollars are going to like us being persecuted.
That's why let's see what the governor does, bro. But so far, it's all lip service. That fool's asking for donations for his presidential run.
No, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Jackass.
No, 100%. And I wanted to get to one of the comments here where, I see it a lot within friends right now. I see it a lot within our community where you have people pointing the finger at each other. Where it's like, oh, well, you voted for Trump, or you didn't vote, or you voted for a third party, or whatever it may be, where people end up realizing like, hey, homie, you were played. You're being played by both sides. And you were man enough to admit that, hey, you know what? I messed up. This isn't what I voted for. This isn't, whatever it may be. You're man enough to own up to it. And now it's about finding solutions.
Yes.
What the mass media and social media wants us to do is they want us to continue to fight each other.
Yes.
It's a distraction because you continue to scream at both sides continue to scream at each other and nothing gets done. While on the back end, we're going into Iran. On the back end, you have all these policies and all these bills being presented and passed behind our backs. And we're too busy yelling at each other to come up with a solution.
Well, let's see. I just posted that thing you guys saw, and that was because you were talking. You know what? You motivated me about the Dodgers thing. Okay. you know, people were in my DM, people were in my Instagram, man, you know, Gil, you's a sellout. We're front line. We're in the revolution. Esta es la revolución. Vamos a ganar. And then a week later, I'm like, revolution over? Yeah, I guess revolution's over, bro. I didn't see I don't know if we won yet, but from the looks of it, we lost that revolution, that 1 week revolution we just had, because it did absolutely nothing to curb ICE from doing what they're doing, bro. Absolutely nothing. So now I'm calling out and seeing, because I've seen a lot of people boycotting the Dodgers. So let's see, bro.
The stadium looked pretty fucking full to me the other day.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well,
it's gonna be hard.
Let's say people have bought tickets. Let's say starting next month, bro. 4th of July, right? 4th of July will be the big revolution for the Dodgers. Starting 4th of July, everybody just stop going to Dodger games, and eventually stop going to games in general, because those are rich people, bro. You need to hurt rich people's pockets to be like, "Hey, fool, you're messing with my money."
You know what I seen today? I don't know if it's true, but you're a Dodger fan, or you're tapped in with the Dodgers. Did they issue out a statement in regards to their support for Israel with all this shit going on recently?
Look, I'm gonna.
Okay, so look, this is my thing, right? This is my thing. So they were quick to do that, and I believe it's because they know if they don't do that, how much it'll hurt their pockets, because of how deep Israel's people, you know, those people in power with money, how shitty it can get for their organization.
The little hat people got money.
I'm pretty sure they're all looking at who's posting what, who's supporting what, and if nobody's supporting them, it can get ugly real fucking fast. And the thing about with Raza is nobody's doing that, so they don't give a fuck. No, they're not gonna see it. It doesn't hurt their pockets. They're not gonna care.
And now we got a double whammer, fool. We can boycott not just the Dodgers, but the Lakers. They just bought the Lakers, bro, for $10 billion. So that means it's the same group that's buying them, and that's the people you got to make it hurt their pockets. Not some guy at the liquor store where you're breaking the stuff. Not some small business owner. A big place like that will make a huge, and especially, homie, most of the Dodger fans are from LA, but Dodger fans are across the nation, bro, even across the world, right?
Oh, for sure. They're fucking deep in Japan.
If we in LA can actually show people that we're really with it, we're not going. I'm not saying don't watch. You still watch a Dodger game if you want, bro, but just don't go to the stadium and watch the game starting July. They say 4th of July and on for the rest of the season. Not even after they make a statement, like, just don't go, bro. That'll make a huge statement and impact and show, damn, these guys are coming together. But again, if I was a betting man,
I don't get why it's so hard. I know people who are so quick to point fingers at other people and get in fights with people, their best friends, their family, but when it comes to holding their fucking favorite sports organization to a certain standard, they're fucking pussies about it.
Facts,
why, bro?
Facts.
Why?
Bro, you've known me, T, for a very long time. I am a lifelong Dodger fan.
Yep.
I have loved the Dodgers my entire life, but I will continue to say I love my people more.
Yeah.
And if this wasn't about politics, if it wasn't something on the back end, then the Dodgers would never get involved in making political statements. But here, I wanted to bring the receipts. I wanted to come to this podcast with receipts, because this isn't just my opinion. Official statement, May 31st, 2020. The Dodgers released a public statement via social media that read, "The LA Dodgers stand against racism and injustice. We are committed to listening, learning, and working towards meaningful change. We cannot be silent. We must all speak up out for injustice and equality." That was for the George Floyd murder, BLM, as they should.
Okay.
As they should. They raised, back in 2022, they had a moment of silence and they raised the Ukraine flag during the Ukraine-Russia start of the war, right? The very comment that you guys were mentioning, on October 9th, 2023, the team released an official statement. The LA Dodgers express our deepest sadness over innocent lives lost to terrorism and our most sincere and heartfelt condolences to their families and friends. We call for support, every effort toward peace in this world. We stand with Israel.
Yeah, we're America's punks, fool. I hate to break the news to you people. Latinos, raza, we are America's punks, because they keep doing whatever they want to us, and they know that we some punk ass people. I don't care how fucking tough you guys think you are, how much the revolution, ever this. That just shows you, to them, we're America's punks. They're gonna keep doing what they want with us, because we can't even simply get up and say, you know what? Yeah, fuck the Dodgers right now, bro. Like straight up, fuck the Dodgers. I'm not gonna go to a game. But people, they don't give a fuck, bro. Like I said, you know what it's for? And especially if you went to these protests and you're out there all Dodgered out, nah, fool, get out of here. Let's puro pinche pedo, way.
Yeah, eres un agachón.
Yeah, puro pinche pájaro, witty, but nothing really going on,
I think
homeboy.
it's the most gacho coming from that team because for one, it's in LA and the majority of the stuff that's going on is in LA. And for two, I feel like they're the franchise in sports history the most that has financially gained out of Raza, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
From the Fernando Valenzuelas to the Urias, bro. Everything they do is to cater to the Latino community, bro.
Well, no, everything they sell, but they cater to everybody else, bro.
Yeah,
they,
for
cater,
sure.
they cater to also LGBTQ.
Yeah,
they're tough on.
They're
No, yeah,
wearing a
everything
hat
they
with a
sell,
flag on it right
financial
now.
gain. Everything for financial gain is based off of Latinos.
But when it comes to us, bro, there's no backing. And the thing is this, because we ain't backing ourselves.
And I'm not saying that their stance on those things are wrong, right? I'm not saying that they need to not, come to bat for other communities. That's not what I'm saying
No,
at
not
all
at all.
whatsoever. But we want equality too.
Yes.
We want to be treated the same. We make 43% of your fan base. We continue to be there when you guys have sucked for such a long time. You guys were still top 10 in attendance in MLB because we came out to those games. Now it's fashionable to be a Dodger fan.
Yep.
I was there in the Milton Bradley days when we sucked. And the only people that I saw at Dodger Stadium were people that looked like us.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't fashionable to be a Dodger fan. That team was ours. Even in pop culture, you have movies like The Sandlot. Benny the Jet Rodriguez, who did he play for? The Dodgers. Who has always been the catalyst of the...
He's like the only Mexican kid. Like
He's the
there's
only one.
Mexican kid representation in that movie.
And
he's a Dodger.
Exactly. They have continued to use us. And when we're asking for equal representation, like everybody else gets, they shit on us.
Yeah, because we're that girlfriend who they'll cheat on us, they'll smack us around, they'll ask you for your car keys, and when you come back, hi babe, you okay? And the one that says, motherfucker out of my house, they're the ones begging, oh no, please. And if we continue going this route, bro, it's gonna be the same thing. I mean, history is gonna continue repeating itself. So to me, let's see what the raza is about, and especially in Southern Cal, homie, especially in LA. If you really, really, truly believe that that your protest was justice, that you want, get at your family, dude. Tell them, hey man, after July, let's stop going to Dodger games. So let's just shut it. Let's see what happens, bro. But like I say, if I'm a betting man, bro.
And I seen that whole national anthem stuff with the girl that sang it in Spanish. And to me, it's funny because I bet you the same dudes in these comments talking about, oh, it's illegal, that's why they're getting deported, blah, 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 are the same ones that were mad about that. But guess what, motherfucker? That shit wasn't illegal, what she did. So why are you mad about it? Why are you mad about it?
It was commissioned by FDR.
Bro, and I bet you not one person in that stadium felt offended. It's LA, bro. It's a melting pot. Like, everybody loves the culture. I bet nobody was offended. The only people that were offended was the fucking Dodgers organization.
Yeah, and they've already rolled that back. Now they say she can come back, this and that. And the Padres, they showed them where the Padres, they had like a mariachi over there singing in Spanish, bro. It's like, come on. Right. Especially in this environment, I could have seen like the Dodgers being like, listen, bro, well, do your thing, do it for your people. At least that could have shown a little bit of. They'll let a drag nun whip a guy in Jesus as naked and do all kind of stuff in the Dodger parking lot.
That's crazy.
Right? So again, they're going to disrespect your God. They're going to disrespect your church. They're going to disrespect everything, bro. But when it comes to speak up and talk for our people, do something, they're not saying anything, bro.
Man, I'm a firm believer in second chances. With the youth that I work with down in Santana, down in Orange County, I work with the most marginalized youth. I work with a lot of young men and women who have been thrown away by society because of their beliefs. And coming out from doing time. And, we get a lot of the little homies have tattoos all over the place. A lot of the homies dress a certain way. And we get all the looks. People are always like, oh, malandrines, this and that. I believe in second chances because I've seen it happen firsthand. And I want to extend that grace to anybody, including the Dodgers, right? If they come and they make it right, we're asking you to step up. We're asking for those individuals out there that might have, we argue about who you voted for. And if you can go out there and say, hey, man, I was played. Hey, man, like I made a mistake. Hey, you know what? This wasn't what any of us voted for. It wasn't whatever it may be. I'm like, you should be given that grace because we're going to have to figure this out together. Half of the country doesn't feel like you, bro. And the other half of the country, you know, feels a certain way. That's like, we have to work in unison. I feel that this country has been so polarized and so divided. It's the major reason why nothing ever gets done.
Give me the comment from Rising, what's this guy right here, man? Yeah, the Falling Warrior, bro. There you go. Rising Warrior. He is actually a big fan of ours. He just doesn't want to admit it because he's always in the comment section talking crap. So he's definitely a big conservative fan. Shout out to Rising Warrior. Thank you for being a fan for many years. You guys are blaming LA sports teams for Trump's immigration policies. No, you jackass. Pay attention. We are saying we want equality. If the Dodgers can speak about BLM, can speak about LGBTQ, can speak about Israel, speak about everybody, anybody, then they should speak up about us. That's what we want.
I was gonna say the same thing to ESF Rob because he said something about like keep the politics out of the sport or out of the sports or whatever.
They don't.
My boy just read off all the statements they've made during times, you know, when the country's going through some shit, and they're quick to be there to say something. And why is this any different?
Because it's Brown now. When it's Brown, they just say, "Shh, I want your money. I don't want your opinion." And I've said this from when the movie stuff, from the Academy Award stuff, from all that stuff, everybody says, even on the left, we want inclusion. Inclusion is a code word for we want gays and blacks.
Yeah, nobody's blaming nobody. All we're doing is what everybody else is doing. What you guys love to do is calling out the people who are not saying shit.
Hey, put up the number up there, Chris. We calling all you lames out right now, like Rising Warrior, you other fools, all you fools that say they should be deported, but you punk ass fools would just make comments, but you won't even make a phone call, homeboy. 747-279-8109, 747-279-8109. If you do not call, that's a blast on your mama.
Well, y'all supposed to wear ankle socks, dog, straight up.
Hey,
you're right. The Dodgers, she's right. The Dodgers don't have to do shit for you, but why can't they do it for us? And why can they do it for everybody else?
And why have they done it for other communities? Why have they gotten political with almost every other community?
They're speaking about a war going on in the Middle East, which yes, is important, but they're not speaking about the fucking shit that's going on at home.
Yeah,
Are
Rob.
you fucking kidding me? In their city?
Oh, this guy's the first one. Hotline.
That's right. That's right.
What's going on, Bama?
Hey, I got some positive things to start off with because you guys are on the negative side. So,
damn.
I don't want to say anything crazy today. I feel good. Hey, you know, during the BET Awards, there's this black girl. Her name is Doechii, or I can't pronounce her name.
Doechii.
She has a big song.
Say the name, Chris.
She has a big song called "Anxiety." It's like a big song.
Oh, that's her song.
She did.
Yeah.
I can't listen to it.
Okay, she said something. She supported like us during her best female artist winner. She said like fuck everything that's going on. So there is people that are saying like nice stuff. Right
Oh
there.
no,
You
for
should see
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Good.
No, there definitely is, but that's why we're not talking shit about Doechii or anybody else, right? And we're also not all saying, "Oh, you black artists," because then you get somebody, "Oh, keep our black thing out of your business." Like, fool, like if they say, of course we're gonna take the support, bro. But the Dodgers, are a team that have time and time again shown support for other players.
Hey, Flip,
Don't make me
you
hang
got
up
a
on
little
you.
sticker right. Hey, turn that little Dodger thing upside down. Your
No, bro. Listen, like I said, I got a bunch of Dodger gear, bro. You can watch the team. I'm not telling you burn this up. No, I'm telling you don't go to the games. That's it.
Hey, I got something on that. I'm writing. I got notes. Hey, check this out. Hey, I forgot to say what's up to everybody. Hey, what's up, Martin, and what's up, Doughboy? You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Martin? How you doing?
Hey, what's up to Chris, man, the engineer and shit? You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Bama?
That's the magic man right there. The magic man.
All right. So you want to see how deep I think, man? So check this out. All right. Let's say Mexican people stop showing up to the Dodger games. Let's say they disappear and they don't show up anymore, and they, you know how happy white people will be to know that they don't. They will fucking they will be there like so fucking glad they don't got to deal with any solos there. That Hey, that is the worst thing that you guys can do because they will fucking make the tickets so expensive. It'll be like Disneyland and shit.
Bama works at Dodger Stadium, bro. That's why he's saying that, bro. He works over there. I doubt that, Bama. If there was a boycott, the Dodgers would not like that
Bro,
whatsoever,
if
bro.
one Latino did not step foot in that stadium, that would cause some trouble.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say the Dodgers. I said the white people. Imagine there's.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Imagine there's white. Hey, thank you for letting me cook. You caught yourself real quick, huh?
Hey, Chris, hang up on this guy, bro. We'll talk to you later, bro. Hang up on this guy, bro. Get out of here. Next caller, please. Next caller, please.
Hilarious.
That was getting too confident.
Damn.
Caller, even better. Let's go.
Now with Bozo, fool.
Hotline.
Real quiet.
Shout out to Bama. Who's this? Where you calling from, boss?
This is Abel. I'm calling you from the city of Bell.
Okay, perfect.
And hey, first of all, saludos to your panel. Also, not just yourself, my.
For sure. Thank you.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you with making the statement of kind of, let's just say, boycotting the Dodgers for a second.
Right.
But I think that it's time for us to really think about who are we going to vote for? Who are we as people? We've been here forever, just like you said. And it's true. We are the first ones to just like fight each other out. We just fight each other. Every time we are, how could I tell you? We start uniting on a cause. We find reasons to start pointing fingers, for whatever reason. Maybe political views or just not agreeing. That's society, I guess. But the reality is that we are not going to be impactful by not showing up to the Dodgers or by not that. I think we need to start at looking a little bit of a broader picture, just like one of your panelists has there with the hat. Well, both of them have the hat, but I forgot the gentleman's name, the one that you have on your right-hand side.
Frankie? That's Frankie.
There you go, Frank. My apologies, Frankie. I think that's where we really need to start making more strides to look at ourselves as a community and look at what we have to do and start voting the right way, or at least let people that kind of have our views or.
Yeah, but that's very difficult to find because they all say they have our views, and once they get elected, just like Obama running on, he's gonna do something about immigration. Biden, everybody, they always say they're gonna do something, and you think just like Trump, he has our views, and then all of a sudden they come into office and do complete fucking 180. And to me, the Dodger thing or any kind of is not so much about just the Dodgers. It's about showing people that we can come together. So to me, it's like, if we can't even boycott the Dodgers, because I'm saying we should do a 1 week boycott, right, for the whole country and not go to work. But if we can't even boycott the Dodgers, fool, that means we got no power. That means we got no discipline.
I mean, like I said, I agree with you. I agree with you with that. And it's true what you say. I mean, they say something and they do something totally different. But I think I know that we are smarter than that at this time now, especially with the younger fellas. The younger fellas, I see them really coming across.
You see them what? The young? Well,
they're
involved.
involved.
I see the younger,
for sure.
People more informed. And it's true, like what you say. They say one thing and they promise something else. But the reality is that we live in these communities and we do know which politician is working for us and which politician is just, for the lack of better terms, bullshit. We do know that. We're not blind. We see this. And yet, like I said, younger people and us as older fellas, we don't tend to maybe get involved in politics here in the United States. We just live our lives on a day-to-day and, work home, strive for putting food on our tables for our kids and give them a better life than whatever our parents gave us. That's what we look at. The reality is that it's.
Our thing also is this, and I was having this conversation with my wife, and she said, and I said, yeah, you're absolutely right. She said, Latinos are like this. Mexican Americans like this. She's a Mexican, so I can say this, right? If it's not affecting you, we don't care. And that's kind of what goes on. Like, there'll be a lot of Dodger fans like, oh, that's not affecting me. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go to the game, bro. And a lot of people, even just in general, anytime something happens with us, that's the first thing where the brothers be like, what? They did what to the brother? Like, oh, hell no. To me, if you see the same images that we're seeing on TV right now was happening to the brothers, they'd burn this bitch down, bro. And at this point, I couldn't even blame them. I'm like, dude, look what the fuck's going on. That angers you. Like, what's going on?
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Gil. But it's time, like I said, I mean, we all started the same way. I don't care how many generations you're here, fourth, fifth, third, one, second. We all started on the same path. One of them had to go ahead and make the jump to give us a better life. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you and the rest of your panel don't have this problem because we were born here. We were raised here. We have the same education, and we had a better life because of our parents or our great-grandparents or whatever it is. You know, they helped us out and they gave us a rope. And we don't have to struggle just like that. But I worked near Whittier where I saw the bullshit. And
he even said it like a local. He said Whittier.
I felt it firsthand, of course. You know, I felt it firsthand. You know, I saw that when they raided the car wash and all this shit. And like you said, if it don't affect me, I shouldn't give a shit. But the reality is that it did affect me some kind of way.
Of course.
Of course.
Because you got compassion, bro. You got a heart. You have a heart, bro.
You know, it doesn't directly, but the reality is that we do need to get involved in our communities.
Yes, sir.
We do have to start, and we do have to look at the politicians that are going to.
Agreed, bro. And I think that this will hopefully open up the eyes to more people to understand that your vote counts. That it actually, you know, we need to get involved locally and everything, and actually start like nitpicking a lot of these politicians, saying what are you gonna do for us? Because that's what it comes down to. What are you gonna do for us, bro? And we haven't held our feet to the fire, man. But hey, I appreciate the phone call and all the conversation, my man.
No problem, and thanks a lot. I thank you for your program and thank your panel. I appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Have a great rest of your day.
That gives me a cue for our 1 minute break right now, Chris. Hey, and then after that, we're gonna call Bama Mexican back because we don't want him getting upset at us and stalking us, bro. We'll call you back right now, Bama. We love you, man. All right.
Faucet screen.
All right, people, we need your support. This channel exists because you believe in our stories. We're not funded by big corporations. We're not bought by special interests. We're independent for the people, by the people. And we're here to speak the truth of our communities across the country. Every story we bring to you about injustices, about our culture, about what's really going on in our neighborhood is powered by us and hopefully now by you. We're asking every single viewer who values what we're doing here to help us stay independent. If just a few of you would donate $2 to $5, it'll make a huge difference. It's easy. You could send support through Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. Your donation doesn't just keep the lights on, it keeps our voices strong. We're not just another YouTube channel. We're your news, we're your platform, we're your movement. So if you rock with us, if you believe in independent Latino media, drop $2, $3, or $5 today. Thank you so much for watching, supporting, and standing with us. We're just getting started. Let's grow together. Go back to that guy over there, Chris. You meet Joe's super chat. We met somebody's super chat up there, they said, Chris? That's what he said. I didn't see nothing. Oh, yeah. Hey, thank you for that one, man. 40 Joel, $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Israel tried to frame Egypt by sinking a U.S. ship. And why was Mossad caught dancing and celebrating the Twin Towers falling, man? It's some tricky shit out there, bro. It's some definitely tricky shit. But all I know is I think they showed a poll like 90% of Americans do not support going to war with Israel. What happened? Okay, hotline.
Hey, what's up, man? How you guys doing tonight?
Who's this? Where you calling from, man?
How you doing, man?
What's up, man? I go by Fama. I'm calling from VA, from north of Virginia.
Oh, that's right. What's going on, my man? Talk to us.
All right, man. So, all right. I want to say that, you know, I'm a first generation Latino here, you know, from, you know, my parents are from El Salvador, you know, so I grew up in LA, you know what I'm saying? I came here to Virginia when I was like 19. So, you know, I come from the struggle, you know, the Latinos, you know,
okay.
But I kind of disagree in a lot of things with you guys. And,
okay.
You know, maybe we could go back and forth with it. All right. So one of the biggest things that I saw like just recently was a video you know, of the you saw. I don't know if you guys saw that video of the caravana that was coming from Central America, and all the people from, you know, in Mexico were protesting, saying "Primero nuestros pobres," you know, like first our poor people, and they were saying no a los ilegales or a la inmigración.
Yes.
So in Mexico, you know, they were protesting for our illegals, you know, our Central American illegals, you know, which rightfully so. You know, I don't blame them for saying nuestros pobres primero. Because that's fine. Like, I agree, you know, because it's like, damn, they're struggling in Mexico, and then you're going to have my guanacos go over there and take over their shit. Like,
Okay.
you know, I understand.
Can I respond to you real quick on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you. I completely understand why the people in Mexico are doing that. It's because that's from the prior administration with the failure of the border, which was letting all these caravans come up. And of course, if you're in Mexico, you're seeing thousands of people, and it's already a poor ass town over there right now. You can't even that they really have an issue with jobs over here. In America, it's different, bro. I'm working at a construction site. There's a bunch now that have no work, and I tell people, all right, Weddles and the brothers that say that we take your jobs, I haven't seen you guys drive by one of my jobs and say, hey, you looking for work? We're looking for work. In other words, it's a different situation here in America. I like the border stuff that was going on, thousands of people. I'm against that, bro. I am for a closed border. I am for a secure border, but I am not, and I am for deporting criminals, real criminals. I'm not for where you see that old man pushing the trash thing. He's working at Walmart cleaning the parking lot. I'm not for going up to that. There's another one at the bus stop. They're grabbing this old man. They're just throwing him on the ground, bro. Like, wait a minute. This is not America. This is not what we signed up for.
These people, no, I feel you. I feel you on that. Like, that tugs into my emotional side. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see that, I'll be like, damn, because I voted for Trump. You know what I mean?
So did I, man.
Yeah, I know. But I know maybe we're relating this. When you see it, you're kind of like, damn, like I want to back Trump, but at the same time, your emotional side from your Latino side, right? It's like, damn, bro, because you don't want to see that.
That's our people.
Okay, I know, that's our people, but at the same time, though, bro, like technically, like, all right, take that emotional side, right? Forget that you're a Latino, all right? Forget that you are emotionally connected with this, all right? Forget that that's your TON. Like, think about it as a 100% American, as a gringo, as a güero.
Let me tell you something. I've always looked at this immigration thing as an American. Because if I was looking at it as just super brown and nothing else, I would have had the blinders on and I would have said, "Oh, Biden's immigration was right." But that being said, the policy that Donald Trump ran on and his Hoffman or whatever his name is, the main immigration guy, it was on, we're going after top level criminals. We're going to go after the murder, the rapists, and that's out of their own words, bro. So in other words, they were selling us that, and now they're going after the elote man. They're going after the flower person. They're going after the guy in the car wash. It's like, so now it's what it is. And it is straight racial profiling, bro.
No warrants, no due
It's
process.
straight racial profiling.
Yeah,
and then when you talk about like the
And
money
American
and all
citizens.
that, look at that. We're about to go to war in Iran and start losing lives. And we're going to spend billions and billions of dollars. So to me, when I hear that argument, don't tell me you're thinking this guy pushing a trash cart is taking billions of dollars from America.
No, look, when it comes to that, the war with Iran and Israel, I was having that conversation with my brother. I was telling him, like, look, same thing. You know, I don't agree with everything that Trump does, you know, but when it comes to that, I just kind of like sit back and I say, you know what, man, you know, biblically, I'm a Christian, but I'm not like a, you know, hard body Christian. I'm going to tell you that I go to church all the time. I don't, you know, but I consider myself a Christian, and I know that biblically, technically, you know what, it's just like that video going around right now with Ted Cruz and Tucker, you know. So I agree with that. Like my stance on that is like, man, you know what? I pray for both countries, for the innocent in both countries, and I hope that
let's stop tipping tone around it. Are you for us or not going to war? Just plain and simple, yes or no?
No, no, because I wouldn't want our men and women to go and foreign land and go give their
Okay.
their life.
Now-
No, 100%.
Okay.
But at the same time, I can't say, hey, U.S., forget Israel. Like I can't say forget Israel because that is technically God's,
See,
sacred
but
land,
this is the this is the hypocrisy when I hear even you speaking right now, bro. And let me tell you why.
Uh-huh.
It's to me, it's sad and such a hypocritical thing for someone to say those are God's people, Israel, this and that, because the Bible. What would Jesus do if he saw a man pushing a cart and saw these guys pushing up again? You think that's the Christian thing to do, to go after just innocent people like that? Because to me, that's an innocent guy. Do you think that's the godly thing to go after these elderly men, elderly ladies, people who are working the corners, people working the car wash? Do you really think that's the Christian thing that God would be like, that's a good job, guys? Or do you think God would have shame on you guys?
No. What I would say is this, it's not what you would consider, godly or whatever.
I think
right?
it's
And you
not
would
what the
say-
Bible would consider godly, bro.
No, I know. For the same thing as pastors and churches and the Catholic Church, that they're not supposed to be touching boys, and they do
Yeah,
it
but
too.
we're talking
You
two
know
different
what
things. I'm talking the Bible, bro. I'm talking the Bible. The church and all that, those are people that will sit there and switch the Bible what they want. But the core part of the Bible is love each other, take care of each other, love thy neighbor, brother. But it's
that's
like
what I'm saying.
we'll love Israel, but the people over here, son Mexicanos, we don't give a shit.
But that's what I'm saying though, Gil. That's what I'm saying. It's like, in Israel they say, oh, it's the sacred land of whatever. That was written and it was said back then, back when when God was still walking around in the earth. Okay, but now, stuff is modern now. That dude, I can't even pronounce the dude name, Yahoo, whatever. that dude's name
Netanyahu.
is. Maybe
warmonger.
that dude.
Been wanting war for 30 years.
I'm sure. Maybe they're not. The people no more, the God people. Maybe it's not. Maybe they corrupted that land.
Well,
maybe
like I was saying earlier, the crazy part is that a lot of guys, like you're saying, are going back to a 2,000 year scripture and saying, well, this is what happened 2,000 years ago, but we can't go back 200 years and say, hey, wait a minute, the majority of Americans who are here, their parents came here illegally. Like, you can't have it both ways on everything. Like, if you want to go back that far, okay, well, let's go back 200 years. You guys did the same thing. And I'm not saying you like yourself, but the original white Americans that came here, they did the same thing. They eventually, became Americans. And we're just trying to do the same thing, bro. But if you're a criminal, you should get deported.
100%. Look, I get it, man. Like I told you, my parents came here.
You got 10 seconds, player. You got 10 seconds.
All right, yeah. I mean, it's all good.
No, it definitely is, bro.
I'll call in another time. We'll chop it up again.
Appreciate it, brother. One love, man.
No doubt.
All right, brother. Late. See, at the end, it's almost like everybody's kind of on the same thing. They just kind of.
I'll give that guy a tip too, since you said that Israel's God's land and stuff, and you said you're Christian. I'm gonna just give you a tip. If you ever go to Israel, don't show anything that says you represent Christians, because you probably will get disrespected.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't like them.
Yeah. What's that, Chris? hang up on him. Call Bama back real quick. Miguel Moreno, 499 Super Chat. Sad to see all this disguised racism by saying it's the law, but the lack of compassion and over-enjoyment let us know. Republican lost the Latino vote. Hi, I'm looking for your cousin. Your wife. Can I talk to your wife, please? Your cousin.
Hey, say sorry, man. You hung up on me.
No, that was Chris, bro.
You were out of pocket, Bama.
Yeah,
You were
out of pocket, dude.
Hey, you had a guy say, "Hey, I disagree with you guys," and you fucking let him talk for 10 minutes, man.
No.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? Well, hey, I'm a Christian, man.
No, Christians don't bone their cousins, bro. Or maybe they do. I don't know.
Damn.
Hey,
What's up, Bama?
Well, thank you for calling me back. I don't hold grudges. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, my boy.
That's right.
Hey,
what's up, Bama?
Some political stuff. Hey, you know that guy Patrick Bet David? He has
Yes, PBD.
And that is the biggest Trump dick writer in the world.
He has been, bro, major.
Yeah, super.
And if you ever go see his Joe Rogan interview, he was dick writing Joe Rogan like nothing. He bought him presents that were priceless and shit.
Oh shit.
But I did learn a lot from that guy when he started because he had these white like chalkboard things where he teach a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And the show was actually like you can learn like it's called Value TV. If you go back to his first videos, you can learn some shit. But now it's all bullshit, and they're actually laughing about all this shit going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. Yeah, they talk about this shit with a little smirk on their face.
Yeah,
And-
for sure. With the Latino thing, they don't
Yeah.
give a shit. With the Iran thing, he's starting to get in more because it's his people. And now,
Well, that's what I wrote down. Hey, what do you think? How do you think he feels now when they're gonna like dump in his hood? That's like his Honduras, pretty much, right?
Facts, bro. Facts. Yeah, for sure. He lived there for many years.
Hey, well, if you wanna, I don't know why they don't invite you in that show to talk all this bullshit, man.
Oh, I'll eat him up alive, bro. Because I saw one guy there, but I'm like, dude, there's so many easy facts that you can just drop out there. But maybe you gotta call him in, put him in the comment section, Bama. But hey, we got one for you. Notorious One, shout out to Notorious One. He said, "What do you think about this one, Bama? Deport all Raider fans, portafaz."
I'm a UFC guy. I don't watch anything. All I really do is watch UFC fights.
You like watching buff guys get on each other, huh?
Yeah, he loves to watch men wrestle.
Yeah.
Grab each other, just sweat on each other.
He's in the corner like Diddy. Put some more baby oil on, baby.
Sweat on him.
Who's that? Babyface?
Babyface, the babyface assassin right here. Doughboy Tony, baby. He even got some smoke for you. Should have got shot over there, Chris.
Hey, Doughboy.
What's up?
I wrote a hook for one of your songs, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, let's get in the studio.
You want to hear it?
Yes.
You want to hear it?
Go for it. Spit it.
Maybe it'll sound better with your voice. The hook you can make the song whatever you want, but the hook should be, you don't really have to take them chones off. You can just push them to the side.
That's the whole hook. Bye, Bama. Bye, Bama. Have a nice week. Have a nice week. Now get out of here, Chris. Get out of here, bro. Get this guy out of here. He really is.
That was the hook right after we said he likes watching the men wrestle on UFC.
That's Milton Ortiz, 999 super chat.
bro.
Great pod, boys. Thank you, Milton. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Diabolical. Hotline.
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm over here in LA right now, but I'm from IE. I've been watching for a while, but I guess my opinion's not really popular. Just
Let's hear it.
Me, this is like America's message, and it's cold. It's just people are tired of Mexicans pretty much. Even though I am a Mexican American, my father was an immigrant from Michoacan.
Okay.
And it's like a prideful thing that the Mexican people carry, where it's like within their own community, they're all chingón, cabrones. But when you're solo, like you can't stand solo because it's just like that. I guess that's how it is, like in the barrio, to be like that,
To be like what? I don't really understand.
So like as a race wise, you would have to stand together to try to give yourself some sort of strength within amongst a community that you're just not populated in. Even though this is like the second most populated area in the world of Mexicans,
right?
And I just see like, I'm homeless, but right now I'm working as a caregiver in Venice, living in some $2.5 million spot, caregiving for this elder man who's a Jewish gentleman,
right,
and a lawyer. And I'm just seeing both sides, and me having come from IE to LA and just seeing the riots and then how good it can be for some people. And me being a Chicano, I consider myself a Chicano.
But when you say people are tired of the Mexicans, what exactly do you mean by that?
Me coming from the IE and just working with white and black people more. I didn't grow up in the body with cholos. I grew up with like blacks almost. Like there was a point where I was there for like 12 years. And this like growing up with white people, it's just like it's like a racism. It's a blatant racism pretty much towards them, but I can understand why. But even that comes from the Mexicans as well, where they're just such a community and proud not to be like, you gotta respect where you stand.
You think they don't assimilate? But I don't think that's the case. I think what it is, and I go back to the damn flag, bro. When people see that, they say you're not assimilating, go back to Mexico. That's what they see, right? But like with my whole side of my family, which is the largest side of the family on my wife's side, it's all Mexican American. fucking all Americans, bro. I mean, full blown. My brother-in-law was like, hell no, I ain't doing that work. I'm American. Like, and we laugh about it because we already know Sharky ain't gonna do it. He's gonna sub somebody else to do it. I'm like, fool, we can bid that. Fool, I'm American. Fool, I ain't doing that. Like, but you know, he's a proud Mexican American guy, and the majority of like all my nephews, no, they're all Americans, bro. They're all just American kids. I think people just kind of look at stuff like that and say, oh, look, this is what it is, or this is what they are. They're all cholos. And nah, bro, there's a lot of people out there that are just good old fashioned Americans, bro.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I take a stance, but then I would understand why they're getting mad against like grandma. Like, you're coming after my family. I would take a stance too. But all my family's good. My dad got his Mica Pica. I don't know what it's called, man, but he got his green card.
Yeah, but I think it's like this. Like, all my family is good, but I got some friends. I know some people from work. I do construction, so I've been in the trade for 26 years now. So I've gone and seen all kind of people get deported. I've kind of seen people come back. I've seen the whole spectrum of it. And what I know that maybe a lot of people don't know is the majority are real good people, bro. And there's some fools that I know that got deported. Like, yeah, he had that coming. And there's a lot of homies that got deported. They knew they got that coming. It is what it is. We're not fighting for the criminal element, bro. We're not fighting for the dirtbags. We're fighting for people who belong to stay here. That's who we're fighting for, I believe. Hey, my man, but I appreciate the phone call, huh?
Much love, man. Thanks.
I thank you. He gonna get the.
I think the caller hit it right on the head, right? I think he said something about really embedded racism, and you have to call a spade a spade. This administration and the people around it have been running on this white nationalist, agenda, and it's really easy to see now.
Oh my God, yes.
Look, Trump is a puppet. I'm like, you're starting to see more and more he's in the pocket.
Showing someone's
Hotline.
What's cracking, big dog?
What's cracking, lagging, homeboy? As Notorious say with the booty smacking. What's going on, brother? Is Art?
You already know who it is.
Art from Santana, homie.
That's right.
That's right.
What's going on, homeboy?
Santaneros, two fellow Santaneros right there.
Aquí están los diablos, güey. Puros santaneros, homeboy. What's going on?
Hey, homies from Santana, I got a little wheel out for fucking America Cholo, fool. All right? I'm just kidding.
What's good, though, Artie?
Nah, fool, just hearing everyone fucking, I'm more in the, I don't know, dog. I'm not bought in yet, if you get what I'm saying. Like, you gotta understand, like, I'm like, fuck, homie, I'm like 4th generation, homie, you know what I mean? My great-grandpa,
So what are you saying? What are you saying? Already fuck the paisas? Is that what you're saying? For what?
No, I'm not saying that. It's just like, for me, it's kind of like
it doesn't affect you as much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, of course it doesn't affect me because I was born here and shit. You know what I mean? By the grace of God. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the thing is, though, is like, I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of like I see this shit, but then like I see other shit like I hear people at work, right? Like, I'm working with some the civil crew guys, and a lot of them are paisas,
right?
But they do have their papers, and a lot of them say, hey, this is the reason why we got our papers because of shit like this. If ever happened, you know what I mean?
Oh, I get that part.
And it's kind of like, and then I hear them. It's like I hear another guy's like, hey, homie, you know what, Artie? Like, to be honest with you, shit, if I would have got deported today. All 3 of my kids graduated from college. You know what I mean? They all own their own homes. I did my part.
Oh, no. Yeah. Son hombres, wait, listen, the people that are getting deported, I'm talking to some guys at work and they're like, dude, I sent some money already over here. It's weird, bro. I'm making plans with guys. Hey, fool, if anything happens to you, I just got my I got my passport on. I'll go over there. I'll give you some money. I'll give you some clothes. Like, it's sad, but as men, we're talking about it and we're not crying. We're not this, but the issue I have, and I think a lot of our community has, is when you're going after just people at the car wash, you're going after the guy sweeping the damn road. Like, how much money do you think they're wasting with all these guys running around picking up like people who is a waste of money? Go pick up some dope dealers. Go pick up some real criminals, bro.
Like how these guys say, hey, we knew when we came across the border, we knew off the rip, obviously it was wrong. We're crossing the border. And that's anywhere we go, right?
Right.
If we go to, Europe, we go travel over there. If we go travel somewhere that's out of our country, you know what I mean? They're gonna, we're going somewhere, and they're gonna stop us. You know what I mean? They're gonna question, hey, what are you doing over here? Why you out? Why are you visiting? Whatever, right? But my thing is like, how do we know that those people that they're getting are not criminals? Because if that was the case, wouldn't you think they would knock at every house that had an Hispanic last name and knock on every door and start
But
doing what they did?
they need a warrant to get in there. That's why.
I understand that, but you think they didn't need a warrant when they're fucking taking all the people out fucking from the Dodgers. They're just fucking straight dragging them out.
Oh, that was back then, but yeah, that's a different
what's
time.
the
Yeah.
difference? Why do people always want to? Well, that was back then.
No, well,
How about when it was back then?
The Dodgers
when
situation
Obama
was different. It was
my
the
homeboy.
evictions.
No, yeah, but my homeboy, yeah, people didn't want to give up their pads either.
Right.
You know what I mean? My great grandpa, his cousins were all lived up there. You know what I mean? They're all from right there from Frogtown.
Right.
You know, and my thing is like you hear it from people that actually experience and tell the stories, right? But then you hear from people that don't even know the whole truth, and they're just talking from what they're hearing, but don't even know the facts. And I think with
I'm a bit
get with the younger
confused because
generation.
at first when you called, it seems like you were like, I'm not really worried about it. But as you get deeper into the conversation, I could feel that you don't like it, bro. That it's not fair what they're doing.
No, of course it's not fair. But at the end of the day, like when they're coming over here, they know they're breaking the law, right? I mean, come on, you're coming over to a different country.
Well, it's like this, bro. It's like let's say in your hood for 20 years, you could have got your beer, put it in the paper. The hood has been going by for 20, 30 years, bro. Yeah, everybody knows you got a beer. Everybody knows you shouldn't have it, but the cops know you're hiding it. It's all good. And then all of a sudden, a new cop comes in there and he's beating up your homies. He's throwing your shit down. You're like, bro, like, and somebody says, well, you knew that was illegal. Like, no, we've been doing this for 20 years. It was something that we all knew it was this, but it was kind of a slap in the hand. You keep pushing. It was normal. So all these administration has let this happen. This problem has been going on for 30 years. And now all of a sudden people are like, what the hell is this, bro? This is insane.
My thing is, instead of going to the streets, right, which is cool. I support, how the people in Anaheim, that was a good protest. Santana, a good protest, peaceful. Yeah, you had a couple fools that were out of hand.
You're supposed to get them, Marty. You're supposed to go suck them up real quick, fool.
No, hell no. I support people that do it the right way. You know what I mean? But I don't support is the fools that go out there and want to act like want to start antagonizing and fuck it up for the other ones that are actually doing it, the right way. Even though I might not agree with it, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna support it because they're not doing it, to go and antagonize the Hurons or to go and fucking start throwing shit at them. They're doing it peacefully. They're doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? They're not blocking the freeways. They're not blocking the fucking the streets,
Yeah,
and that's how you're supposed to do. I respect that. But at the end of the day, it's like you get those guys that go and they fuck it up for everyone, dog.
That's how
and those
it is,
are the
bro.
ones that they're going to push the propaganda on, and which they've been doing. You know what I mean?
All right.
My thing is, okay.
You got 10 seconds.
I got one more thing.
I got one question for you, big dog. As a fellow Santanero, how do you feel about Amezcua?
How do I feel about Mexico? Well,
no, Amezcua, Mayor Amezcua, who from the city,
Santana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that that fool Jonathan?
No, that's the mayor, Mayor Valerie Amezcua, who didn't come out.
Oh, the girl, the one that I know what you're talking about. But you see, it's just like, but you're asking how do I feel about her not coming out?
Not whatever position she's in, right? Like I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Like whatever position she wants to take, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she's for, she's against, or whatever, right? But as the leader of our community, I would expect her to frontline, to be out there and say, "Yo,
no, you're right.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. But do it respectfully. I'm here protecting the people because this is a federal mandate. I have nothing to do with it. But
But if we're gonna get to the nitty and gritty, homie, that Vato Jonathan ain't the best guy either. You know what I mean? I know his whole family, homie. They're from my grandpa's from Metro. He's from Artesia. You know what I mean? I know his whole family. He ain't the best Vato either. But I'm not the one to come out here and smut the Vato or whatever, right? But a lot of fools. No. I'm not. No, American Cholo.
I'm messing with you, Ari. I'm messing with you.
Smutting is
I'm
putting
messing with
facts
you.
out. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm just saying.
Low-key,
she probably doesn't, agree with a lot of people that are out there because let's be honest, that pro king, that king whatever protest, man, it was all fucking done by a bunch of white people that were behind it, homie. You know what I mean? They were pushing that shit, fool. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? and then they were able to get these fucking some Mexicans and all these little groups and get them together and go out there. But there was all white people that was behind it, homie. You know what I mean?
money.
They're the one that was pushing it first. Paying Raza out to go out and protest. That probably didn't even want it, but hey, it was money. You know how we are. We could, hey,
They should have
where
paid
the
me,
money
bro.
we're
I've
gonna
been
take
out
it.
there.
Oh hell yeah, pay me too. Shit, I'll fucking act like I'm fucking. You know what I mean? Shit.
I already went to the Black
But
Lives
at the
Matter
end-
rallies, fool. You just
No,
wanna say-
hell no. Fuck that. Hell no.
All right, Big Artie, man.
Hell no.
Always
All right,
appreciate
fool.
the support, player. Yes, I
Hey,
was.
you fools get home safe, dog.
That's
I don't
right.
want no animosity. I mean, no,
Oh,
no
never.
disrespect,
Never
homie.
that.
Never
You
that,
know what I
dog.
mean?
Hey, man,
It
you're-
All
just-
respect, my
it
boy.
just-
I
You have a
love,
right to
appreciate
your
that,
opinion.
brother.
it's all just for me. It's just like fuck. It's hard. Homie.
Yeah, it's hard for a lot of us, bro, and that's what we're talking about.
Uncomfortable.
Spence, if you guys.
No,
you know,
not even at all, Artie. Appreciate it, bro. One love, carnal.
All right, for
All right,
sure.
brother. Late. We got 3 super chats.
Damn.
Moises Carrera, $20 super chat. Hey, bro, what are some of the questions you're going to be asking the candidate that you have coming in, and what are you going to do to resolve some of the issues that we're currently having in California? He's talking about Chad Bianco. He's coming in about 2 weeks. I'm going to talk to him about the what's it called? The speed train that's going to nowhere with billions of dollars. I'm going to talk to him about men and women's prisons. We're going to definitely talk about the immigration stuff that's going on. And I've got a whole list of questions. What's up, Chris? There you go. And then I'm going to talk to him about, healthcare, for illegals, which I personally don't agree on. I mean, if all the citizens had healthcare, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, now we got time for this. But there's a lot of people in this country, in this state, that don't have healthcare. So I think it's kind of tough to sit there and give healthcare to everybody, bro.
What about police oversight?
Yes, another one. Yeah, for sure. Police oversight, like especially he's a sheriff.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of good stuff coming out of Chad Bianco, the interview. I promise you that one. Hold on, we got another super chat. Hold on, caller. Christian Perez, $5 super chat. What's up, dog? I'm not for pushing the evangelical Republican agenda or causing doomsday. It's fucking insane. Yeah, dude. The prophecy, huh, Chris? The prophecy. You have one more in there, Chris? We got one more. All right. Curious with a K, 49 super chat. What's up, guys? How do I join the hotline? Keep sending me to the voicemail. I'd like to discuss No Kings protest and immigration reform. I don't know. That might be you on the line. It's just you got to get in, buddy. Let's go. Who got on the hotline, Chris? Hotline.
Yeah. Hey, Brother Gil. It's Gabriel Gaddy from Bassett.
Oh, what's up, Gabriel? Talk to us, my man.
Well, I just tuned into the show and I wanted to comment on the nonsense between Israel and Iran.
Oh, nonsense. I like it. I like where we're going already, man. Okay. I thought you were going to go the other way.
No, brother. I'm going to tell you something that's going to piss people off.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we've been sold, a bill of goods that the Zionists are the chosen ones, okay? That's what we've been sold. The Zionists are the chosen ones. But here's the facts, okay? Because I know you like facts.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so according to the Bible, the seed of Abraham, not seed, one, singular. The seed of Abraham is who's going to inherit the blessings and the promises of God. Well, the seed of Abraham is Jesus Christ. And the Bible tells us those of us who accept Jesus Christ, who have Jesus in us, who accept him as our Lord and Savior, we are the rightful heirs, okay? So we are the chosen ones. And then those Zionists who are an offshoot of the Pharisees, do you remember the stories of the Old Testament, the Pharisees and the Sadducees?
Yes.
Okay, well, in John 8:38, chapter 8, verse 38, Jesus says to the Pharisees, you are of your father, the devil. Okay? So they are of the devil. Their father, the devil. Those of us who believe in Jesus Christ, we have our heavenly Father, which is God, and it comes in the form of the Trinity. Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and God in heaven, our heavenly Father. So I just wanted to clarify that because we're told that, we need to support Israel because they're the chosen ones, okay? And we need to bless Israel because the Bible says those who bless Israel will be blessed and those who curse Israel will be cursed, right? We've also been told that. And yes, but that's talking about the heavenly Israel, not the worldly Israel, the heavenly Israel. Because in Revelations, John talks about the new Jerusalem in heaven. So he's talking about a spiritual, heavenly Israel that we need to bless.
Oh,
and
yeah,
one way to bless Israel.
You're gonna piss people off with this one.
Damn.
Yeah, well, look it up. Fact. Don't take my word for it.
No.
Okay?
I love the information. I love the information, man. But yeah, because there's a lot of Christians out there, bro, that they're diehard on this just because, you know, I'm like, dude, you're willing to go to war and have thousands and thousands of people die just because you believe in this, in the prophecy here. I mean, to me, it kind of goes against everything that the Bible says. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a guy who's really, you know, well read in the biblical, you know, scripture.
Well, yeah, and I was that same way too. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Oh, well, they're the chosen ones. They're the seed of Abraham. That's their land. And, you know, God made a covenant with them, and God does not break his promises or covenant. That's true. God does not, but people do.
For sure.
And the Zionists broke away. They rejected God. When they rejected the cornerstone, which is Jesus Christ, and by rejecting God, they just blew their covenant. That's like if I enter a deal with you, you and me sign a contract.
Yeah.
You're going to pour, 50 yards of concrete for me.
Right.
You don't break your word, right? You're a solid dude. You're
Yeah,
a
of
stand-up
course.
guy. Deal. Absolutely. But what if I back out? I renege. Well, the covenant between you and me is no good anymore because I backed up.
Facts.
Same thing with the covenant that God made with the Jews and the Israelites.
That's right.
They're the ones that broke the covenant. But anyways,
Hey, Gabriel,
I just wanted to-
I appreciate that, brother. Thanks for watching the channel and supporting the show, my man.
all right, take care, brother.
All right, brother.
See you.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
see what you got.
Oh, the philosopher one.
Who was that? HLR? Self-hating Mexicans wouldn't sign up for the war, though.
Nah. No, I think if you're gun-ho about this war with Iran, then you should sign up.
Send your kids.
Go. Send the little homies. Send your kids.
Yeah, the
Send your
philosopher
firstborn.
get the. Damn, he knew, huh? He went to Iran, bro. He's about it, bro.
Frontlining.
He's frontlining right now, bro. Hotline. We'll take one or two more phone calls. Yes, sir. Let's make it quick. Talk to us.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're on air.
Oh, I'm on air right now?
Yeah, well, you got in, my man.
Oh, okay. This is curious. I was just-
Perfect. That was the call I was waiting for. This will be our last call right here. What's up, Curious? Talk to us, man.
for sure. Okay, I'll keep it short and sweet.
yeah.
So I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm here from LA, born and raised, NoHo, proud Californian. Yup. I think we briefly met at one of your Thanksgiving events when you were giving turkeys at a park near here.
Yeah, on Tierra Street.
Right. So I just wanted to talk about, like I said, the No Kings protest and the immigration reform.
Okay.
So I actually went to the No Kings protest in Studio City. I just wanted to see, because it was very confusing hearing so many different narratives.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because you have like the left saying one thing, the right saying another thing, and it can get very confusing.
Yes.
So I'm the type of person that needs to go see it for myself. I went to the protest, not really remaining neutral, right? Just observing to see what it was all about. And it felt very shallow and inauthentic to me. I think you guys have briefly talked about maybe like the funding and stuff.
Yes.
So I haven't looked deep into that, but all I know is that what I got out of it, it was mainly like it felt like an anti-Trump protest, right? A lot of the signs were just like fascism, racist, like just this hatred towards Trump. And there was a few about ICE as well, but I don't know. It just felt, to me, it really just felt more like Marxist ideology and just like an opportunist movement of using the ICE raids and the immigration issue for their own political agenda.
Correct. And I think that's pretty much what it was. It's No Kings. It was all against Trump. It was scheduled before even any of this protests were going on, and they just kind of mixed it in because you saw the crowd. The crowd was huge, and then by 3 o'clock they're gone, and there was only a few of the protesters for the ICE protests were left around. Now,
right?
now, what do you got on immigration? You got about 1 minute.
Oh, okay, I'll make it quick. So, well, I just wanted to talk to you because I was left very upset about the King's protest.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think we could actually do here? Like, like an actual protest or like an actual strong message? Because to me, that didn't really have a strong message. To like the ICE thing, it was really just like pride flags and all this like sort of
It gets mixed up, diluted with everything. Right.
So that's the question I wanted to ask you. Like, if there's anything we can organize or something like that.
I'll say my piece, and I'll let these two gentlemen. They'll have Tony take us out. My thing right now, I'm down to do I think the Dodger thing will be great because it's easy, bro. It's not like people don't want to drive, people don't want to go into protests, people don't want to deal with cops, people don't want to deal with that. The Dodger thing is. Watch them at home, drink a beer from the house, bro. I think that would send a big message across the country that we can actually come together on something. What you got?
I agree. I think economically, I've been up here for the last 2 years really talking about the economic power that Latinos have here, specifically in California. And I think it's time for us to weaponize it. It's time for us to use it intentionally. And I couldn't agree more with you. I think that it may be in some cities, in some places where there's not a large Latino population, it definitely felt unauthentic. But where I'm at in Santana, all I saw was my people. I saw my people. I saw the Cambodian homies. I saw the Vietnamese homies who are also being affected. I saw the Filipino homies out there. But I saw all the communities that are definitely being affected. And it was all the vitriol and all the vigor was, really directed towards ICE. But I definitely agree with you that there is that faction of like our last caller that called from Santana, that I do believe that there's paid actors. I do believe that there's individuals that are being paid off just to, push a particular ideology, and they mix it in with everything, right? So, and my tinfoil hat is like, I think both sides are playing us and both sides are playing together and they're creating this narrative, but that's just me.
What you got, Tony?
Damn, well, I think we all kind of stand in the same spot. Economically, we had to just, we had to make a statement. Let's just momentarily, let's stop supporting things that don't support us in times like this. And I think, our voice will be heard greatly.
There you go. Hey, appreciate the call, my man.
Yeah, keep it up. Love what you guys are talking about.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man.
And then Jesse, go back to the dust ball you call your land. Go back to the island you call your land, my friend. Now they love to take shots, but you know what? It's a beautiful thing because you guys come here and support us, and we may not agree, and we have a bunch of different callers, bro, that have difference of opinion, and I think it's a great place where we can actually have the conversation. The only thing is a lot of the super right-wing guys like that, they're cowards when it comes to making phone calls, bro.
Is that philosopher for real? Is that really his account?
What do you say?
I think so.
Take one more caller before I get deported.
The philosopher. I don't know.
Probably.
Go ahead. Let's see. Hello. Hotline.
¿Qué onda, vato?
What's going on, carnal? That's wrong. It wasn't philosopher. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Right here from downtown. Soy Manuel.
Oh, Manuel. You got to cut it short, bro. We're at the 1:30 mark. Just make your point. We'll rock and roll.
Trump's grandfather, originally from Germany, moved to Canada, opened up a brothel where he was selling women. And then after Canada, they moved to the United States. So the real criminals come from Europe. Also, when they first came over here, they would put posters in communities where they would ask white people to kill young Native American children, and they would get paid. They would get paid to scalp a young Native American child. So this has always been happening, bro. So that's all I want to say, bro.
No, great point. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you, man.
All right, gracias.
All right, Tony, get us out of here, brother.
I will appreciate everybody who tuned in. This is another episode of What's the Word on the realest platform, American Cholo. Hope everybody has a blessed night. God bless you all.
That's right.
Make sure y'all tune in next week, man, for some more great convo.
Hey.
Philip said that.